presumptive nominee of the party that if Obama's fortunes fall in Florida, so do yours?
I think that there are a lot of things that I agree with the president on, but I don't agree with him on all things. When we look at, for instance, offshore oil drilling, I didn't go running and jump in the arms of the administration and saying that, oh, you're right, and we need to all get in line, and I will help sell this in Florida. That wasn't the case. When it came down to NASA, the reason why the president flew to NASA was because, to the Cape, because of the pressure that not only did I apply, but I also work with my members of the delegation to say that Floridians should not be left behind as it relates to the new vision that the administration has for NASA, and things got better as it relates to the budget for NASA and being able to save jobs. When we looked at this whole issue of Cuba, I applauded the president on restarting travel as we knew it prior to the Bush change 2 weeks before his reelection, which was smacked of political overtones versus good policy. But I separated with the president on the unlimited remittances for Cuban families to send back to their families, not because I don't want their families to be whole, but 20% of those remittances actually went to the Castro government rewarding bad behavior, to only see months after individuals being beat down, women being beat down in the streets of Havana. And the administration having to say something different about Cuba and the leadership there. The U.S. effort is very important to Florida's economy. A free Cuba means a better footprint as we see ourselves as the Brussels of the Western Hemisphere, and tourism and eco-tourism is so very, very important to free Cuba. But at the same time, we cannot allow someone that is in prison for speaking out of what they believe Cuba should be. They could very well be a Mandela in a Cuban prison, and we don't want the story to be told that we embraced the oppressor as it relates to those individuals that are political prisoners in Cuba. So there are a number of issues that that individuals can look at me and say that I will represent Florida versus saying I'm representing the party, or that I'm willing to jump into the arms of the administration on a number of issues. Last point, raising the debt ceiling. I have been on the floor day after day, Bush administration, when I say the floor, the U.S. House of Representatives, giving speech on the fact that we have to bring our spending under control and we have to deal with the issue of the debt. When this administration wanted to raise the debt limit, I got a call from the White House saying that you should vote for this because we have to keep the government going. I said that it's important that we have pay-go in this legislation if you're going to raise the debt limit, so that the commitment will not only be in the House to pay as you go, but it will be in the Senate. Finally, the Senate put the language in. When it came back to the House, I voted for it because that's the only way we can bring ourselves back under control as it relates to spending. I'm well documented on that, and I think that challenging the administration, especially when there's time to challenge, but when there's times to work with the administration, I'm going to be in the front seat of that. On health care. Health care is a good step, but it's not the last step. And talking to Floridians, they understand that, and they want a United States Senator that's going to make sure that we're going to be at the table when these additional decisions are made, especially when it comes down to Medicaid, or Medicare, Medicaid fraud, or we're the, if I could say, the headquarters for that kind of activity, and we've been talking about it for years about doing something with it. In this health care bill, I think that there's sharp tools that are there for law enforcement agencies to use as it relates to getting at that issue and dealing with the issue of closing the donut hole, tax benefits for small businesses, giving individuals rights that they have not had, who has been paying for insurance all of these years, and defying that now they need their insurance company. Their insurance company feel that they no longer need them. So I'm excited about some of the things that we've worked on. I think the stimulus is going to be a plus-up for Florida as it relates to our transportation needs, as it relates to putting people back to work once this economy get more private investment and helping us move forward. I know I gave you more than you wanted on that, but I think it's very important that people know that I am going to represent Florida as I have always, and I appreciate the president's support of my campaign right now. If the president wants to come to Florida and campaign for me, absolutely I want the president to come to Florida and campaign for me. I'm not running from him, but at the same time, on issues that are facing Floridians that I think will be counterproductive to our future, I will stand up to the administration, and I think there's evidence of that.
I want to talk to you about the deficit